the Speaker of the People's House, he answers our time. Abdulgani Wadele Ayuba is my name. I speak for and on behalf of Alimosho Federal Constituency, the most populated federal constituency in Nigeria. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Lagos.
Are you sure, Honorable Ganiu?
Yes.
More populated than Honorable Jimmy's constituency?
I may restrain myself to contest that.
So you are withdrawing your statement by implication?
It's again the route to join issue with my leader, sir. I'm sorry, sir.
So then don't mention it again.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I write this afternoon, like I said, I'm from Lagos State, the economic heartbeat of the nation. I write here this afternoon to move this motion that has to do with the urgent need to review the nation's judicial and justice system with a view to renew the hope and confidence of common man in the judiciary and administration addressing the delay in justice delivery. The House notes that judiciary is the third arm of government, constitutionally saddled with the responsibility of prompt dispensation of justice and interpreting the laws made by the legislature. Also, the House notes that the judicial power are constitutionally vested in various categories of courts, legally created by the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Act of National Assembly, and the law of various houses of assembly of the various states of the Federation. Aware that one of the elements of the fair hearing, as entrenched in Section 36(1) of the 1999 Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria as amended, is the prompt determination of any civil rights and obligation of any person or authority within reasonable time by court or tribunal established by the law. The House further aware that there are many categories of courts created by the law serving as court of first instance and or appellate court with general and specific criminal and civil jurisdiction to hear and determine specific cases with view to ensuring prompt dispensation, emphasis on prompt dispensation of justice and prevent delay in justice delivery in the country. Consider that notwithstanding the creation of this court, the delay still being experienced in the delivery of justice in our judicial system is highly alarming and gradually eroding the confidence of common man in judiciary. Mr. Speaker, the House worried that in some states of the Federation, cases at the High Court, which by their nature ought to be dispensed within months, last between 4 to 5 years before judgment is delivered. The House further worried that situations where suspects languish in detention for years awaiting trial, where chieftaincy cases lasted for years in court, leaving communities without head, and where commercial litigation span years in court unresolved, they are bane to our democratic and economic growth. Mr. Speaker, the House more worried that the Supreme Court of Nigeria in particular, the least any appeal case can wait on the queue for the turn is not less than 10 years, unless appeal on criminal cases and election cases which take less than that years of waiting. Aware that as measures to ensure quick dispensation of justice, certain provisions were introduced into the 1999 Constitution as altered, stipulating the time frame within which certain cases, one of them is election matters, should be finally determined by court and made the Court of Appeal instead of the Supreme Court as final cause to hear and determine any appeal arising from such cases. Believe that unless some urgent steps are taken to address the delay in our administration of justice and judicial system, the confidence reposed in the judiciary may be finally eroded, and citizens may start taking law into their hands. Mr. Speaker, the House thereby resolve mandates the House of Committee. Mr. Speaker, minor amendment here. I want to seek the courage of the Judiciary to remove Judiciary and Constitutional Review Committee here, so that I'll be left with mandate the House Committee on Justice to organize public hearing and invite various stakeholders in the administration of justice with a view to permanently addressing the delay in justice delivery in the country and restore the confidence of common man in the judiciary. Mr. Speaker, these are my submissions. I hereby move. Thank you for the opportunity, sir.
Thank you, Honorable. Any contribution?
That is exactly what he did.
Honorable Ayuba, did you add or subtract anything from what is contained in the notice paper, the order paper?
No, Mr. Speaker. The only thing I did was what I created objection to allow. Okay, let me take it.
That can only come under debate after you have been given the initial approval. No, just take note of it for future.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'm grateful for that.
You are at liberty to increase whatever, but that has to be when the question is put and you are asked to further explain.
Why not?
Then you can be able to put whatever you want. Thank you, Leader, for the observation.
Why not?
The Chairman rules.
Is very critical to the tenet of democracy. And I want to align myself with the sentiment expressed by the mover of the motion to the effect that when there is any problem in the effective discharge of justice delivery, it has very grave implication on public confidence in the system. Mr. Speaker, one of the major problems we have with our justice delivery system, for example, today, can be seen in the cases in our various correctional centers. Prisons that were built or correctional facilities that were built to take, for example, 100 persons in the 70s, where facilities have not been expanded till today, have thousands of people languishing in them. And Mr. Speaker, of the number of persons in our correctional facilities, I can say without any form of doubt that over 60 to 70% are people who are awaiting trial. Some of them are in the correctional facilities for a period that is even longer than the time they would have been convicted for if they were eventually found guilty of such alleged offenses. And by the principle of our Constitution, every person is adjudged innocent until proven guilty. So, Mr. Speaker, I want to support this motion, and I want to urge that the forum or the is asking for a public hearing should come as urgently as possible, because the outcome of such hearings may have to still go to the Constitutional Review Committee, subject to the bill being moved and passed in this House. So I want to say that this is a very important motion, and I lend my voice to the motion, Mr. Speaker. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Chair. Is it contribution or amendment to the prayers? Let me start from my brother at the end. Is it a contribution?
Contribution, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, please make it brief.
The People's Speaker,